Good morning everyone. Now in this lecture we will start next topic, that is flip-flop, and we have discussed combination logic circuit. Now we are discussing sequential logic circuit. As we have discussed in previous lecture the difference between combination logic circuit and sequential logic circuit. So in a combination logic circuit, whatever input you will provide at any instant of time, according to that you will get output. But in a sequential logic circuit, you have your output basically depends on two things. First one is your present input and second one is your output. Output means your previous output that you will use as an input into next circuit. So these type of circuit we will discuss into this lecture. So your sequential logic circuit, your first example of your sequential logic circuit is a flip-flop. So we will start from the flip-flop. Right? Then second difference, what is the difference between what is the second difference between combination logic circuit and sequential logic circuit is memory element. Because combination logic circuit doesn't have memory element, so we cannot save the output, and that's why we cannot use that output as our input into next circuit. But in a sequential logic circuit we can save the output. So that is why we are saying your sequential logic circuit has a memory element, and they have memory element, that's why we can save the output, and that output we can use into another circuit as a input. Clear? So if you are talking about flip-flop, so flip-flop basically can save 1 bit memory. That's why we are saying flip-flop is a 1 bit memory cell, because it can save till 1 bit memory output. Clear? And now we will discuss the structure of your flip-flop. Okay. So this is your basic structure of your flip-flop, and we are saying this is a cross-coupled flip-flop, and here we are using 2 gates, that is NAND gate, and we are numbering your NAND gate. This is your first number NAND gate and this is your second number NAND gate. But before start the procedure, means how we will solve this type of structure and how we will get the output, before that we have to know and we have to be memorize the characteristic of your gates. So here I am making a table for AND gate. AND gate table if you are making, so here you have 2 input symbol, that is capital A and capital B, and if you have 2 input symbol, that means how many combination you will get by using 2 input symbol. So you will get 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to 2 means 4 combination you will get in your truth table, and that is 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1. And why we are writing like that? Because we are talking in a binary number system. So if we are studying digital electronic system, so definitely we will talk in a binary number system. That's why I am saying if you have 2 input symbol, then how many combination you will get it? You will get 4 input combination. And how you will calculate this combination? 2 raised to 2, because your A input symbol can have 2 values, that is 0 and 1. Same thing with the B. We also can 2 values, that is 0 and 1. So that's why you will get 4 combination. And what is the range of this combination? From 0 to 3. If you convert that number into decimal number system, in that case you will get 0, 1, 2 and 3. If you are converting this binary number into decimal number system, in that case you will get these decimal number system. 0 0 when you convert into decimal number system you will get 0. 1 0 when you convert, then you will get 1. 0 1 that you will get 2, and 1 1 when you convert, then you will get 3. Now if you are talking about the characteristic of the AND gate, then 0 0, and according to the characteristic of AND gate, if you miss any input, means if you have 100 number of input or 1000 number of input, but if your one input is 0, in that case your output is 0. Clear? So here 0 0, so your output is 0. Here your A value is 0 and B value is 1. Then again, according to the characteristic of AND gate, if your one input is 0, in that case your output is 0. So 0 1 means 0, 1 0 means 0. Here in the last case if you see, if your A value is 1 and your B value is also 1, that's why your output is 1. Means if your every input have a value 1, in that case you will get output 1 in AND gate. Clear? And if your any value means any input value is 0, in that case your whole output is 0 according to the characteristic of AND gate. If you are talking about OR gate, so actually I am including here, this is AND gate output, and here in the next column actually I am adding a next column for the OR gate output. So according to the characteristic of OR gate, if your one input is high, you will get higher output. Means if you have 1000 number of input, 1000, 100 number of input, it doesn't matter. But if your single input is high, in that case you will get high output. Then let's see, A value is 0, B value is 0. In that case you will get your output is 0, because in case here you have two input variable and both variable have a value 0. That's why your OR gate output is 0. Now we will see the next combination. Your next combination is A value is 0 and B value is 1. So according to the characteristic of OR gate, if your one single input is 1, in that case your output will be 1. So here your output is 1, in that case again your output will be 1, and here output is 1. So this is the table of AND gate. So this is AND gate output, this is OR gate output. Clear? And here, and why I am discussing this thing, because here in a flip-flop you are using NAND gate, not a AND gate. You are using NAND gate, and NAND gate is just a complement form of your AND gate. So if you have output like that, then you will perform the complement of your output, then you will get the output of NAND gate. Clear? So here I am making a structure of your cross-coupled inverter or cross-coupled flip-flop. Now let's see how we will solve this structure. So for solving this structure, we have to assume the previous output, and here Q and Q complement basically represent your previous output, and we are talking in a binary number system. That means your Q value we can assume either 0 or 1. So for solving this structure, first we will assume the value 0, and after that we will assume value 1, and we will see what type of output we will get it. Okay. So suppose if you are assuming your Q value is 0. In first case, we are actually discussing in terms of cases. So in a first case, if you assume Q value is 0, then how you will solve this structure? If your Q value is 0 and you are using that output as an input to the second number AND gate, that means here your input is 0, and if you are providing 0 input to the NAND gate, so for solving, just assume this is your AND gate. So if you are providing 0 input to the AND gate, in that case you will get output 0. But here your gate is NAND gate. This bubble, when we attach the bubble with your AND gate, that means this is the structure. Now this represents the structure of your NAND gate. So if you are giving 0 input to the second number of gate, in the AND gate case, you will get output 0. But in the case of NAND gate, you will get output 1. So here you are giving input 0 and you will get output 1. Clear? Now that output you are using as an input to the gate number 1. So when you are providing this output as an input to the gate number 1, then what will happen? That gate number 1 you have input 1. So according to the AND gate condition, if you have a higher output, then your output means your AND gate output will be higher. If you have a higher input, then your output will be higher. But here we are talking about the NAND gate, and NAND gate just a complement form of your AND gate. So if you are giving that input to the first number NAND gate, then you will get output 0. Clear? So this is the procedure for solving cross coupled inverter flip flop. So what we have done, we just revise this thing again. First you will assume your previous output. If your previous output is 0, that output we are using as an input to the second number NAND gate. Here when you are providing 0 to the second number NAND gate, you will get output 1. That output basically you are using as an input to the gate number 1. When you are providing that input to the gate number 1, you will get output 0. Okay. Now we will check for the second condition. So here we will make table. If your Q is 0 and Q complement is 1, in that case you will get output Qn complement, Qn plus 1 and Qn plus 1 complement. So here you are giving input 0, then you will get output 0. So this Qn and Qn complement. So basically these Qn represent your present state input. These are your previous output, but we are using as a present state input. So that's why we are writing as a Qn. Qn means at this instant, at this time. Okay. So we are assuming if your previous output is 0, then what will be your next output after solving the structure or after solving this diagram or circuit. So if you are assuming Q value, Qn is 0, then you are getting Qn plus 1 is also 0. Qn plus 1 represent your next state output and Qn represent your present state output. So that's why we are writing these are your present state output and what will be your next state output. That thing we are basically solving in this diagram. So here Qn is 0, Qn complement is 1, and after solving the circuit we are getting Qn plus 1 is 0 and Qn plus 1 complement is 1. Now we will solve this structure for the output 1. If you are assuming Q equal to 1 here, then what will happen? Let's see. Okay. So if you are assuming your next output, because you can assume only two values in a binary number system, you can assume Q value as a 0 or as a 1. So we have assumed 0. Now we are assuming Q value is 1 and we will see what is your next state output. So here Qn is 1, means at this instant you are assuming your present output is 1. So if you are assuming Q equal to 1 and you are giving as an input to the second number NAND gate, clear? Then according to the AND gate characteristics you will get output 1, but here we are using NAND gate and NAND gate is just a complement form of your AND gate. So we are getting output 0. Then this output we are using as an input to the first number NAND gate. Clear? So if you are giving 0 to the AND gate, that means you will get output 0. But here we are using NAND gate, so our output will be 1. Clear? Then so if you are assuming Q value is 1, Q and complement value is 0, in that case your output is 1 and 0. So by this table what we can conclude? We can conclude if you are assuming Q value is 0, in that case again you will get your next output is 0. If you are assuming Q value is 1, in that case again Qn plus 1 is 1, means your next state output is again 1. So what happened? This is a stable state. Stable state, why we are saying this is a stable state? Because if you are giving output 1, then next state output is again you are getting 1. If you are assuming Q equal to 0, then next state output you are getting 0, means you are getting two states, that is set or reset state, and these are your stable state. If you are assuming according to this structure, this is a cross-coupled flip-flop inverter structure, and according to this structure, if you are assuming Q value is 0, in that case your next output will be 0. If you are assuming Q equal to 1, in that case you will get output 1, means set or reset state. Clear? So this is the output of this structure. And how? And likewise you will solve the structure of the flip-flop. You have to assume the Q value. Q is your previous output, and that output we are using as an input in our circuit. Clear? And if you are writing like Qn and Qn plus 1, so Qn represent your present state output and Qn plus 1 represent your next state output, and that thing we are calculating in a flip-flop. So this is your basic structure of a flip-flop. You have two NAND gate, first and second, and you are having two output Qn and Qn complement. These are complement to each other, these output. If this is Q and this is Q and complement. Clear? And by solving this circuit, basically you are calculating or you are finding the next state output. Means if your previous state output is 1, then what is your next state output? If your previous state output is 0, then what will be your next state output? So while likewise you will solve this type of structure and you will calculate, you will find what is your next state output. So this is your cross-coupled inverter. But what is the disadvantage of this flip-flop? This is the basic structure of your flip-flop. But what is the disadvantage of that? The disadvantage is that we cannot provide desired input to that circuit. We can assume only 0 or 1. If we are assuming 0, then we will get 0. If we are assuming 1, then next state output we will get 1. But we cannot give desired input. If we are not providing desired input, then definitely we will not get the desired output. And that is the big disadvantage of this cross-coupled inverter flip-flop. So we will modify that flip-flop into next level, and we will add some NAND gate or NOR gate. We will modify this structure in some way, so we can give the desired input to the circuit, and we will see how means we will get different type of output. Clear? So in this session we will stop here with the cross-coupled inverter, and this is a stable and this is a bistable state flip-flop. And why we are saying this is a bistable? Because if you are providing 0, you will get reset state. If you are providing 1, you will get set state. So this is the state of your flip-flop. Qn and Qn plus 1 represent your present state and next state output. These are the truth table of your AND gate and OR gate, and you have to be memorized. Please keep in mind this thing means characteristic table of your basic gates like AND gate, NOR gate, and OR gate, NAND gate, and NOT gate. Because if you know the characteristic table of these gates, after that you are able to solve this type of structure. Otherwise you will face problem to solving this type of structure, because maximum time we are not assuming this thing. We can directly solve this circuit according to the characteristic of the gate. Clear? So in this lecture we are ending this stop here this session. We have discussed cross-coupled inverter. In next section I will discuss with you modification of this structure or SR flip-flop. So basically we have 4 flip-flop: SR flip-flop, D flip-flop, T flip-flop, and GK flip-flop. So in this session, in this lecture we have discussed what is cross-coupled flip-flop, what is set state, what is reset state, how we will solve this type of circuit, and what is the disadvantage of the circuit. So in next lecture we will discuss SR flip-flop. This is the modified version of this structure. So how we overcome the disadvantage? This flip-flop has a disadvantage. We cannot provide desired input to that circuit. So if we are not providing desired input to that circuit, that means we will not get the desired output. So how we will modify that circuit, and how we can provide desired input to the circuit, and how we will get different type of output from the circuit. That thing we will discuss into next session. Okay, thank you.